What we're going to do today is a beginner's class with Sequoia. So it's going to run about a half hour. And I'm going to go over some of the things that I've maybe set some videos out on before. And we're going to add to that. And we're going to send more videos so you can kind of put all this together. And eventually we'll work our way all the way into the form. The form has 108 movements or postures in it. Don't get overwhelmed. We're going to start breaking it up into bite-sized pieces. And as with any Chinese martial arts, where we start is the foundation. The stances are the foundation on which we build our Tai Chi form, our foundation on. And from the stances, we also get power and we get a lot of good health benefits. Just the stances alone strengthen the legs and improves your balance. And so that's always a good plus. So the first stance that we learn in actually any of the Chinese martial arts is the horse stance. And to get into the horse stance, what we do, we want to start out with your feet together. I'm going to do a series of 45s, just 4 of them. So my toes are going to go out on a 45, then my heels, toes, heels. My feet are parallel. My hips are going to be forward, my back's going to be straight, and I'm going to drop my weight down on my knees. And if I look down past my knee, I shouldn't be able to see my toes. Now, initially, it might take you a little bit to get there, but eventually try to work your way lower into your stances. When you first start doing this, you'll begin to feel a little bit of burn here in your legs. It won't take too long. Eventually, you kind of want to hold these stances for time. Ideally, this particular horse stance, you want to work up to about 5 minutes. I've had some of my students like watch TV and drink their coffee while they hold the horse stance to strengthen their legs. That's a good thing to do. Another thing you could do is eventually, once you've learned some of the stuff out of the form, is you could practice some of the hand movements, not necessarily with the footwork, but the concept of the hand movements. Now, everything we do below the waist is obviously under tension because it's holding us up. Everything we do above the waist is done with the minimum amount of effort. To move the arm, for example, or the strike. So that's that yin and yang concept that you see so much associated with Tai Chi. Tai Chi has been known mostly for its health benefits throughout the year, but it is a martial arts. That's how it was founded. That's what its fundamental principles are. Now, the next stance we're going to do is the third stance. It's kind of a stretch for a warm up for our legs, but you do find it in the form. I'm going to pivot on the ball of my foot, in this case, with my right. I'm going to throw the heel around. I'm going to turn on my hips, and I'm going to square my shoulders, in this case, to the west. If I was facing north, in this case to my left, if I'm facing north, that would be the west. I'm going to pivot. I'm going to lock that leg in. That's going to be stretching that. I'm going to bring my hips around as far as I can. That's about 45. And my shoulders are going to square on this wall here. Again, drop your weight down. And you should be able to feel the stretch on that leg. So, hold that for a few. Again, longer is always better. The Chi aspect of Tai Chi is, I'm going to come back to the front, turn back here. The concept of Chi is your body's energy. It's all your body's functions working together. Your breathing, your circulatory system, your electromagnetic, or your bioelectrical system. And Qi, in the Chinese concept, just like working your legs, working your muscles here to strengthen them, is you're exercising your Qi to develop internal strength, internal health. And so what Tai Chi does is one of the best ways to exercise your Qi. One of the other things you get out of it with the deep diaphragmatic breathing is it massages the internal organs. And you get the meditative aspect out of doing Tai Chi when you're focusing on what your legs are doing. They're strong, they're holding your body up. Your arms are doing the minimum amount of effort. You're focused on what your breathing's doing, eyes, and the concept of what everything is doing together. That's what meditation is. It isn't that your mind's wandering off, it's that you're totally focused on what you're doing. Right? So those are the first two stances. that we learned. The next stance we're going to learn is the forward stance. That's one of the stances we work the most out of. So from the horse stance, and back up here a little bit, I'm going to take a half moon step out, and I'm just going to be about shoulder width apart. The important thing here is to be 50-50 as far as your weight is on both your legs. Your toes, your legs, your feet are parallel. You're balanced, left to right, right to left. Now I'm going to step with my right leg in a half moon up and past. And between my toe and heel here, when I do this, kind of depends on how tall you are, but you can see that there's a little bit of space there, maybe 8 to 12 inches when I'm done. All right, when you're forward, you can't necessarily see it, but so there's that kind of space. Yeah, big thing is balance, so that you feel good and solid in this stance. Now, so from the horse stance, moving forward, 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to move back. 1, and we're just going to half moon back, back. 1, 2, 3. Back. Now, another variation that we do off of this footwork is where we're going to pivot the foot. We're going to go into what's known as an empty stance or a cat stance. I'm in my right forward stance. I'm going to pivot this toe here. If this is north, now I'm pivoting to the east. I'm going to put all my weight on this right leg here. And I'm going to step up with my left into what's known as an empty stance. What it looks like from here, pivot, shift. So all my weight's here. It's not empty stance. I can lift this leg up. It's not touching, but it's out just a little bit. But it's not way out here either. And I got weight on it. Back here, and I can lift it up. Well, that's the empty stance of the cat stance. So, on the right forward stance, pivot, shift, step up. Now from here, I'm going to step out. I can kick from the cat stance, but I can also transition from the cat stance. And a lot of times that's what we're doing. We're transitioning out of the cat stance. I'm going to step out, up and out, about shoulder width apart here. And I'm in what's known as an L stance here because, one's going this way, one's going this way. I got, 90 degrees. When I shift this back leg around, I'm back into my forward stance. Pivot, in this case, the left foot, shift my weight, step up, cat stance, step out, L stance, shift. I'm now in a right forward stance. Pivot, empty stance, L stance, forward stance. All right, so that's a series of transitions we do in the footwork where there's a lot of things we do with our hands, which we're going to add that right now. So the first one is actually just going to be a strike with a single pat down, brush knee. Coming forward, if I have, in this case, my strike is going to be my right hand, target's going to be my center line, which in this case is obviously what it sounds like. My center line, my target I'm going to use actually is my own throat. Spear hand. I'm going to step into my right forward stance. I'm going to pat down with my right hand, past my knee. My left hand is going to come up and around, and it's going to replace with the right hand, where the right hand's target was. Then I'm going to step up, pat down, back where we were. Step up, pat down. Now going back, we're going to do what's known as repel the monkey. I'm going to switch my hands. I'm going to roll this hand like so as I step back, clear. Roll, step back, clear. Let's repel the monkey. Here, this is single brush knee. This is right out of the form. Switch, and this is repel the monkey. This also is right out of the, all right? So Let me do it this way. Okay, so here, I'm in my right forward stance. This arm's at a 45. This hand's bent, so I keep it on a level plane because, again, the target's the throat. It's not a big area. But, if you're targeting that, you want to hit it. Pat down, strike, strike, switch. One, two, three. That's those movements there off of that footwork. That's how we build off of this footwork. So the other ones we did is known as a double brush knee. We actually do that in the first set. And so we're going to start off with our left forward stance. Pivot this foot. Come up. Did that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to set up my left hand here at the waist. My right hand here. I'm going to step out. It's going to be 1, 2, strike. Pivot. Set up. 1, 2, strike. Pivot. Set up. 1, 2, strike. That's a double brush knee. One more time. Left forward stance. Pivot. Set up here. Left hand's at the hip. Right hand's at the left side of the face. Comes past the knee. As I get up to here to about the 11 o'clock position, I begin to step. Keep going around. When I get to the 9 o'clock position here, I'm going to start to pivot. Clear the knee. Strike. Pivot. Set up. 1, 2, strike. Pivot. Set up. 1, 2, strike. Double brush knee. Okay. The next thing we're going to work on is the step behind real quick. This footwork here is again from the left forward stance. What I'm going to do is my right leg here, I'm going to step behind and turn around. It's for pivoting 180 degrees. This is the 12 o'clock. My right is at the 4. I'm going to step to the 7, and I'm just going to unwind. Left forward stance, step behind again, unwind. Left forward stance, step behind, 7, 12, 7, change directions. All right, I'm just going to show you real quick what goes with this. There's a video out we'll send along. It's basically Fair Lady works the shovels. And so this is like an overhead block, strike to the side, block up, strike, block, strike, block, strike. It's also right out of the form. Fair Lady works the shovel. All right, that's enough of stance. Oh, we'll do one more thing for stances. I want to show you the bow and arrow. The bow and arrow stance, if we're in our horse stance, and eventually you'll be able to get to where you can just step right into it. So where it's comfortable. So you're just going to step into your horse, and my feet, I'm just going to shift on a 45. All right, shift, and you drop your weight down. In this case, 75 to 80% on the front leg. You're just going to rotate 45, 45. What you don't want to do is be rising up. You want to stay level when you shift. This bow and arrow. So we'll leave it at that. All right, so the next thing we're going to do now is just going to loosen up from head to toe. We're going to start with the neck. All right, now I'm going to rotate the header. Six, reverse. Nice and slow, nice and relaxed. Always keep your eyes open. You don't want to get dizzy. All right. Going to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Tongue's on the roof of your mouth. All right, so now I'm going to do my shoulders. And it's just going to be everything above the waist. It's just done with the minimum amount of effort. Inhale. Exhale. Forward. So you bring it up. Forward. First. Roll our arms. We're going to get into our horse stance. We're going to bring our wrists together, thumbs up, hands out. I'm going to drop my hands down, roll them together, force them out, pull up, roll, knife edges together, back out where they start. Inhale. Inhale. Exhale. 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to come up. Inhale, knife edges together. Roll, back, gear, out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 5, 6. All right. We're going to do our hips. So it's just going to be about shoulder width apart. You're going to support your lower back, and you're going to try and put your middle fingers together on the small of your back. You're going to keep your head sort of like the center, that everything just kind of rolls around. Reverse. Knees. I'm going to start with my feet together. I'm going to drop my weight down, put my palms on top of my knees. All right. I'm going to reverse. Keep your head up. Continuing, working our way down. We're going to do our toes. Come up on your toes, rotate clockwise. And then reverse. And then switch. All right. Yeah. So next thing we're going to do is, let's see, we've done that. We're going to do some of the Qigong breathing exercises. So we're going to start off in our horse stance again. Do it to 1, 2, 3. Drop your weight down. All right, we're just going to breathe in. Our arms are going to come up. They're going to be nice and relaxed. And we're going to exhale down. Again, the arms are hyperextended out. They're down. Inhale. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. The next thing we're going to do is chi tapping. So get in your horse stance. I'm going to swing. We're going to do hips, sides, and shoulders. We're just trying to get our chi circulating, that our internal energy. So 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So, the thing we're going to do is skull tapping. It's just going to be at the base of the skull and the spine. You're going to tap with your middle fingers and just going to tap 24 times, 12 times with each finger. Cover your ears and begin. Okay. And the next one is just going to be a chest thump, left or right hand, doesn't matter. Chest tapping, 2, 3. All right. Now, chi balance. So here we're just going to stand up shoulder width apart. My left hand is going to be down my down chin. My right hand is going to be here. I'm going to take a deep breath in. I'm going to turn my palms and I'm going to press straight up and down my center line. Inhale, switch, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. The next one is another chi balancing exercise. Horse stance again. And what we're going to do is we're just going to raise one arm at a time. Inhale, and exhale down. Right, inhale up, exhale down. Coming up here as we inhale, there's going to be just a slight little pause. Inhale. This is like one of the few times in Tai Chi where we just, usually everything's done in a flow. You know, this kind of comes up and just starts right back down. But here, there's just a little bit of right together. So come up. Four. All right. The next thing we're going to do is, let's see, we're going to do, we're going to do 3 to the front, 3 to the left, 3 to the right. It's a breathing exercise. Yes. Well, actually, no. It's like 3 big exhales. Actually, this one is a different group. Big breath in. I'm going to come forward and grab my elbows and exhale down to the ground. Throw them back. Big breath in. Exhale down. Throw the arms back. Inhale up. Go back as far as you can. Exhale down. You're not bouncing. As each time you're just keeping it nice and smooth as you go down. With each exhale, you try to go a little lower. 4, 5, and 6. Up. All right. Usually what we do here is going to be meditation. And meditation is It's a combination of visualization and your breathing and your attention, focusing your attention on what you're doing. And I want to imagine your prime meridian. We're going to imagine 5 points along it. Today, what I'm going to teach you is just the simplest version of it. And we're going to build on it. It's sort of just a vertical, sort of an up and down variation of it. So from your dantian, you got your navel, you got what's the bottom of your sternum, your xiphoid process, your clavicle notch between the eyes and the top of your head. These are the 5 points when we breathe up. We're going to imagine, visualize bringing our chi up. And then we're going to exhale down and we're going to bring it down back to the dantian. So what you're going to do is you're going to get into a horse stance and you're going to take basically, take your hands here and you're going to lock them together. So the thumb, that opening between the forefinger and the thumb here, they're touching, you clasp them together, and you're going to take your navel or your thumb and you're going to put it in your navel. All right, and you're going to visualize. Now, you're not going to close your eyes all the way. You're going to keep your eyes slightly open so you're always aware of your environment. But you want to be in a nice, good, quiet environment. And when you breathe, you want to do that deep diaphragmatic breathing. Your lungs are like a teardrop shape. So you want to fill them up completely with air. And that's going to push your diaphragm. When you do that, you're going to massage your internal organs. And that's going to get the blood circulating. So you're going to get a lot of good health benefits from that. But this is the meditation aspect of it too, which is to relieve stress. So you're also going to get a lot of good health benefits. So you should try to work up to about 5 minutes doing this, but then we're going to add a whole bunch more to this, which is a lot more fun. But this is how we start out. So you close your eyes, you breathe in and out through the nose, and you visualize moving along those 5 points, up and then down. Now, I'm not going to do this very long because it's kind of boring just standing here, isn't it? I'm not saying anything. But I want you to visualize those points and do the breathing with it. Breathe in, bring it up, top of your head, and exhale, bring it down between the eyes, clavicle notch, xiphoid process, navel to the nose. Back up, navel, xiphoid process, clavicle notch between the eyes, top of the head. Find a good quiet space. And these times, meditation is really very good for you in really stressful times. So do try to practice this, work your way up. A lot of times when we do this in class, it doesn't always work out real well because it's noisy or distraction. Worst case, if you can't find a really good quiet area, get yourself a set of headphones with some very quiet, mellow, meditative music on and visualize doing this. And we're going to add to this because this really is what Tai Chi is all about, is learning how to exercise your chi, get your chi flowing better throughout your body so that you have much better health. So that's the meditative practice that we do there. Then from here, I'm just going to leave it at that. I want you to work on your stances. The lower is always better. Remember what we learned, horse stance. Then we learned the third stance, right? Then the forward stance and how to move from some of these. Forward, backwards, putting combinations of the stances together. Stronger stances, you're going to have a much stronger form. We always build from the ground up. From the footwork, then we add the hands, then we add the breathing. Then we really add the eyes and the focus and the chi flow to it. And that's how we build this up from the ground up. All right, so we're going to do this again next week, Saturdays. And for a half hour, I think we're going to shoot for 10 o'clock. So see you then, and we're going to keep building on this, and there should be some more videos coming out to Sequoia's website. So take care, practice, and practice some more.